All right, so we just headed out of the used car lot. There are some hot cars on the used car lot, and you want to buy them up before it's too late. Some of those cars are actually even legendary cars selling on the cheap. So act fast, buy them before it's too late, because yes, they will sell out, and then who knows when they'll come back. And when they do come back, they'll only be back for a little while. So if you're not checking in on a regular basis, you could miss them for quite some time. Now, this is one that we just bought, and it was a bit of a nostalgia buy. We used to own a Nissan 240SX with, yes, the KA truck engine, but this is the JDM with that SR20 DET motor. So single turbo, 2-liter, 4-cylinder engine. Very, very cool. We had wanted to do a motor swap, but motor swaps are expensive, as we just learned with our 1991 Toyota MR2, which is a true JDM right-hand drive Toyota MR2, 1991, weighing about 2,300 pounds. So incredible for its over 300 horsepower that we now have in it, but it's on its 4th engine. So let's check out, you're watching what cars to buy. So right before going into the legendary section, those cars are uber stupidly expensive. So here's a tip. We're going to be covering all the tips and tricks here at JCCR Racing. Join the crew by subscribing. But first, the tips, very important. Go to your garage, go to Change Car, and see which cars you already have. Now in the real world, I only have 5. So I remember which ones they are. But in Gran Turismo 7, the simulation racer where I get to live out my ultimate dream of having all sorts of vehicles, we can easily forget which cars we have and don't have, and we can double buy, and I don't want to double buy on a $3 million vehicle. So yes, the 962 Porsche Incredible is back. The Nissan, most people prefer the Nissan, and I'm coming in to check to see if I have the Mazda, because everybody says the Mazda is the absolute winner. Also have the I'm sober Mercedes, and I've been sober now for no drinking at all for over a month. Continuing that, letting the blessings come from not drinking. A lot of blessings to my health. So checking out what cars we have, that's the JCCR Racing livery made by Aussie Pug. You can check out the livery and always add, you can use it and throw your name on the back of the vehicle, so you're part of the JCCR Racing crew, by looking up JCCR OP. You'll see all the liveries in there. So now that you've got a good idea of what's in your garage and what's not in your garage, you want to go through the list. And we can see what is, good thing we didn't buy another Honda Civic earlier in the last video. You can check that out on the used lot. What is hot right now and why, which cars should be purchased. Almost bought the Celica GT4 a second time. So being much smarter now and checking out what we already have. We picked up the Firebird Trans Am. Love it. Very impressed. Now we know what we've got. Let's head on over to the legendary cars. So you're watching JCCR Racing. Before we fully get started, hit that like button, drop a comment. What are some of your favorite cars in the game that you have or want to collect? Now we're gonna break the bank here. We've got 6.3 million credits. We're gonna spend 3.3 million credits. This one keeps actually coming back recently, so it's not too stressful. But this is one impressive car that everyone seems to be talking about. It's the 787B 1991 Mazda. Well, we have a 1991 Toyota MR2 over at Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, which you can check out that channel. We also have a 2017 Shelby GT350 for that flat plane crank V8, allowing for super high revving. The red line starts at 8,250 RPM. Sounds like a Ferrari, kind of. A little different than the Ferrari, but incredible sound off those engines. So this, though, has 690 horsepower, 448 pound-feet of torque, and is lighter than my Toyota MR2 at 1,830 pounds. I'll have to rip out the air conditioning out of the vehicle to get it lighter. We did change everything on it, bigger, lighter, intercoolers and whatnot. But let's learn more about this car from McKeel. So this is actually when Mazda won the Le Mans. Final year, the rotary engines were allowed to compete. Yes, they defied the odds and won in a miraculous fashion. So it's a 4-rotor engine. and it outlasted powerhouse rivals like Jaguar and Porsche. Wow, because if you look at a 93 Mazda RX-7, the engine can be reliable, but as soon as you start to tune it, it is easy to, a lot of people have blown that engine. Just like the 2-liter out of the Toyota MR2s. So apparently the victory was made sweeter by the fact that Mazda became the only Japanese company to win the historic race. After a bad showing the previous year, no one expected the 787B to do well in 1991, qualifying in the 19th position. However, the Mazda team was undeterred and ran a strategic and consistent race, taking the checkered flag. Yes, this channel is actually, I'm a tortoise slow driver. I'm a turtle. But with safe, smart driving, you can still win races or place quite high. Of course, that's if you survive online racing and being taken out, sometimes on the first lap and the middle of the race as well, and on the last lap, but that's a different story for a different day. The drivers who accomplished the impossible were Volker Weidler and Johnny Herbert and Bertrand Gachot. After the race, the now historic number 55 car was safely stowed away to be preserved forever. Then in 2011, the car was restored and returned to Le Mans for a demo run celebrating the 20th anniversary of its victory. Very cool, Mazda. Way to go. I'm going to buy you up. Mazda, I actually like you as a company. You take risks. You have some exciting cars. And you also have generally very reliable cars at a really good price. Mazda, you're on my winners list. Used to be owned by Ford, and now you're just seem to be changing hands. Changing hands like an unmarried person, just changing hands all the time. Well, you've got the Superbirds, very cool 70 Superbird. Interesting story, that huge wing thrown on the back was actually when Plymouth consulted, I believe it was someone in the F1 racing world, and was like, hey, we keep losing. How can we win? And they're just like, add a big wing in the front and add some, change the front end and change the wing. So the front end was made to be brought down and lower, so it cuts through the wind, less drag, less resistance, and the wing was thrown on to help hold the car down, and then that squirrely, nutty back end sliding all over the place started to actually behave a little. And what color? Firebird. Oh, let's go all out wild. Let's do it. We can always paint it later. Limited stock. This is one you want to get. Makil, what's the deal here? Yeah, if you're a racing fan, it's NASCAR. They'd contacted some people in F1, if I remember correctly. Yes, NASCAR is super popular in the US. It is awesome. My biological father watches it every time it's on. The Plymouth Superbird. So those NASCAR cars started to get up real close to 200 miles per hour. And you don't want them squirrely at those, or nutty at those speeds. So Plymouth had the Roadrunner. I had a Plymouth Satellite 1971. What a car. Back end was sliding around all over the place all the time. So its long nose and large rear wing helped increase stability at high speeds. Yes, brought forth by F1 people. An individual from F1. These aerodynamic advantages translated to incredibly fast lap times that left the competition in the dust. The brass at NASCAR weren't thrilled in seeing the lopsided results of the races, nor did they want to see race car production costs skyrocket, making it inaccessible to the masses. As a result, the Superbird was discontinued after 2 years. Boo hoo hoo. I guess that's what happens when an F1 designer or F1 Formula One brain gets taken into NASCAR. It is a legendary car. Oddly enough, though, this was one of the most hated vehicles on the lots. New car lots had trouble selling these because of the kind of outrageous styling, that triangular front torpedo plane front nose and that huge wing. And by the, sometimes these cars would be new, but 2 or 3 years old on the lot, and dealers were just doing anything to get rid of them. Throwing a barbecue if you buy one. There we go. A little bit of dealer history right there. Beloved and uber expensive now, but once disliked by dealers because they were very hard to sell. Just like the Mustang Mach 1. We had 2 on our Ford dealer, and we sold them at a huge discount because they're like a year and a half old on the lot. Brand new, year and a half, collecting dust. So when we sold them, I think, actually cost or slightly below cost. Just happy to get it off the lot. Now, let's check it out. We've got the Maserati. That doesn't interest me so much, but interesting fact about Maserati is often they've used Ferrari engines. If you don't have the Supra GT 597, that is a must-buy, folks. Must buy. But I think I saw that on my list in the car garage. The Carrera GTS. Oh, it's a Porsche. It's super rare. I bet it's going to drive pretty poorly. And that is a lot of money, and it's almost all our money that we have left. So would we go more towards a Maserati Spider? You know what? We're going to buy the smart. We're going to spend our money wisely. When there's a GT4 race every so often, and just recently in the GT4 race, this car, the Alfa Romeo 155 2.5 V6 Ti, I know someone that raced one of these, is now an absolute beast. It's overpowered for the GT4 races. So yes, we are going to learn more, and we are going to buy it. It's going to be a smart buy. Yeah, it is one of the most recognizable cars from the 1990s. German Touring Car Championship known as the DTM. Sometimes loosening regulations can create great things. Governments, take notes. Take notes. Sometimes it's not great to have thousands of regulations. Sometimes it's just good to have good, simple, easy laws to follow. Well, in auto racing, it certainly paid off because the Alpha 155 2.5 V6 Ti, which was fielded by the Alfa Romeo Works team, was an absolute winner. Wonder if the Ti is for turbo injection. Turbo Ti. My brain's not working right now, but it won 12 out of 20 races in 1993 and secured the championship title for both driver Nicola Larini and the manufacturer. The DTM lead later became a more international competition before being discontinued in 1996. Went down in history as the only non-German manufacturer to win the series. Yeah, and one vehicle that I love from Alfa Romeo at the moment that I consider buying, but it bugs me. It's a 2-seater, and I've got a baby. I want to take her out on the adventures, the baby girl, but it's that Alfa Romeo 4C. I believe it has a carbon fiber platform. Wow, it's got very much like high-end Ferrari build technology behind it. Very cool. Very, very cool. Buying it up. Oh, it's a naturally aspirated engine. Let's go check out actually the power specs, because in the 90s, you could get an occasional surprise for power. But remember, in the 1990s, 200 to 300 horsepower, 300 horsepower was seen as monumental. Not as bad as the 1980s, where a Corvette could come with, what, a whopping 188 horsepower, 184 horsepower. But here we've got a four-wheel drive system. It's 413 horsepower at, what? 11,500 RPM. That's bonkers. That is so cool. The max torque, a little high as well, so we're going to be revving out this one. And it's 2,227 pounds. Wow, it's a four-door, but at the weight of my Toyota MR2, which is 1,000 kilograms. Wow. Wow. Very cool. Very cool. Oh, that is, wow. Glad we bought that up. Well, that's it for today. Let us know in the comments section. Super important. If you want to help out the channel, please drop a comment. Let us know what car or cars in the game you've bought or want to buy. What cars interest you here? What cars would you like to see? Drop a comment. Thank you so much for watching. You've been watching JCCR Racing, and it'd be deeply appreciated if you take the time. It's free. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and turn bell notifications on. And don't forget to drop a comment. All free, and show your kindness. Thank you so much. I wish you all more cars and more power, and hope you get to put the pedal to the metal on a dream car or a car that you love sometime real soon. Take care, folks. Thank you again for watching. We're blessed to have a community that supports us, and we've got the JCCR Racing crew. Those are the kind people in the live chats who are excellent racers. We got A racers and B racers and C racers in there dropping incredible tips that'll help make you faster, smarter, and a better driver. Take care. We're blessed here. Join the crew. Have a great day.